Nivasita Niravadi Bhavaniveham. Sri Bhuvana Pavana Kripaya Lesham Tam Pranamami Cha Shri Sachitanayam. Sri Bhuvana Pavana Kripaya Lesham Tam Pranamami. This is a song written by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya about the glories of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tribhuna Pavana Kripaya Lesham Tam Pranamami Shri Sachitanayam. That by just a little trace of his mercy, one can attain the perfection of life. This is said in the Bhagavatam, Atapite Deva Padam Pujadvaya Prasada Leshana Grihita Evahi Shanati Tattvam Bhagavan Mahimno Nachanya Eko Kicharam Vajimban. Brahma says that just by a lesha, or a tiny trace of the Lord's mercy, one can attain perfection. Ujvala Varana Goda Vada Deham Vilasita Niravadi Bhava. All together. Tri Bhuvana Pavana Kripaya Lesham Tam Pranamami Chashi Sachitanayam Gadgaram Tada Bhava Vikaram Durjanatar Jananada Vishalam Bhavabhaya Vajana Karanakaram Tam Pranamami Chashi Sachitanayam. Aranam Bharadhara Charu Kapolam Induvinindita Nakachaya Ruchiram Jalpita Nijaguna Nama Vinodham Tam Pranamami Chashi Sachitanayam. Vigalita Nayana Kamala Jaladharam Bhushana Navarasa Bhava Gatiyati Mantana Nritya Vilasam Tam Namami Chashi Sachitanayam. Chanchala Charu Charana Gati Ruchiram Manjira Ranjita Parajuka Maduram Chandra Venindita Shitala Varanam Tam Pranamami Chashi Sachitanayam. Kalmashakandana dandam Tan Pranamami Chashi Sachitanayam. Bhushana Burajala Kavalitam Kambita Bimdhara Vara Ruchiram Malaya Javira Chitta Ujvala Tilakam Tam Pranamami Chashi Sachitanayam. Ajanulam Vitta Shibuja Yugalam Kalevara Kaishora Nartaka Visham Tam Pranamami Chashi Sachitanayam. Ujvala Varana Goda Vada Deham Nivasita Niravadi Bhavani Veham Ujvala Varana. Number one, Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Gaura Hari Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Sachinandana Jaya Gaura Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Jashoda Nandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militandena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadahmayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Adadana Shridandanter Idam Dyache Puna Puna Srimad Rupa Padamboja Dulisyam Janma Janmani Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Sadvatutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Namasheshtam Manumapi Shachiputram Atrasarupam Rupam Tasyagrajam Uruparim Maturim Gomishtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramoho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tam Natosmi He Guru Gyanada Dina Bando Swananda Data Korunaika Sindho Vrindavana Sinahita Avatar Prasida Radha Pranaya Pracharo He Dinabando Korunaika Sindo Kuru Prasada Maimanda Mudhe Laksha Paradhe Bahupapa Gadhe Tapada Padme Stumatisha Krishne Prata Shrima Navadvipe Dvi Netram Tvi Bhujam Gurum Varabhaya Pradam Shantam Smaritan Namapurvakam Tum Gopika Visharavestanayanti Kese Sevadhikarani Guru Nijapada Padme Dasyam Pradaya Kurumam Vrajakanane Shri Radhangri Sevana Rase Sukhinim Sakabdao Shri Guru Paramananda Parimananda Palaprad Vrajananda Pradhananda Sevayama Niyojaya Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhana Videvi Dayataya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Pravave Namaha Madhuryo Jwala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudhapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshad Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambhara Sambhode Padambhujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sakchirananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virvava Bomestam Nirdeshta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Boma Shri Jagannathayate Namaha Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindobhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Suratau Pangor Mama Manda Matirgati Matsarvaswa Padambo Jao Radha Marana Mohano Divya Vrindaranya Kalpadramada Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanastao Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devao Preshtali Bi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasarasadam Pivam Shiva Tatatastita Karshan Venu Swaner Gopir Gopinatha Shrestunaha 18 Thakur Godiyake Karyachina Atmasad 18 Era Charan Vondon Tine Moranas Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vande Nanda Vrajashrinam Padarinum Abhikshnasha Yasam Hari Gato Gitam Punati Bhuvanatrayam Hantaya Madra Abala Haridasa Varyo Yad Ramakrishna Charanasparasha Pramodaha Manam Tanoti Sahago Kanayos Tayorya Paniya Suyavasakannana Kannamulai Vrindayai Tulsidevyai Priyayai Keshavasya Vishnu Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha Shri Nishinga Jai Nishinga Jai Jai Nishinga Prahlada Desha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanir Bhavati Bharata Apyutanam Adharmasya Tadatmanam Srajamyaham Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mami vaishyasi yuktvavam atmanam parayanaha sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam raja aham tvang sarva papebhyo mokshayishami masuchaha Shushu Shoshadhanasya Vasudeva Kataruchi Syan Mahatsevaya Vipra Punya Tirtha Nishevanad Shrinvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantaksto Hipatrani Vidhunoti Suritsatam Nashtapraishu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyutama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Tadarajastamo Bhava Kamalobhada Yashjaye Cheta Iter Anavitam Stitam Sattve Prasidati Evam Prasanna Manaso Bhagavad Bhakti Yogataha Bhagavat Tattva Vijnanam Mukta Sangasya Jayate Vidyate Raya Grantish Chijante Sarva Samshaya Shiante Chasya Karmani Drishta Eva Manishvare Malihai Karishe Bija Arupan Shravana Kirtana Jale Kare Shechan Tahan Vistarita Hoy Pale Prema Pal Ihan Male Sheche Nitya Shravanani Jal Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shiksharta Meka Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sharira Dhari Kripambudir Yastamaham Prapadye Kala Nashtam Bhakti Yogam Nijam Ja Pradush Kartum Krishna Chaitanya Nama Avirbhutas Tasya Padaravinde Gadham Gadham Liyatam Chitta Bringa Ajanulambita Bujao Kanakavadato Samkirtanai Kapitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishvambaro Dvijavaro Yugadharma Palo Vande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Chaitanya Krishna Chaitanya Gaurango Dvijanayaka Yatinam Dandinam Chaiva Nyasinam Chasharomani Raktambara Darashiman Navadipa Sudakara Prema Bhakti Padaschaiva Shri Sachinandanastata Nityananda Vadur Dendur Vasuda Prana Balaba Janavi Jivita Pati Krishna Prema Pradapabo Padmavati Sutta Shriman Shachinandana Purvaja Bhavun Mato Jagatrata Rakta Gaura Kalevaram Matsamo Nasti Papa Ma Paradi Chakashchana Parihare Pilajame Kimbhuve Purushottama Yuvatinam Yata Yuni Yunam Cha Yuvatau Yata Manobiramate Tadvan Manamera Matantwayi Pumaskalita Pararam Pumir Eva Valambanam Twajata Paradhanam Twameva Sharanam Prabho Govinda Balabhiradhe Prate Tomaham Sada Twadiyam Iti Janatu Govindo Mam Twaya Saha Radhe Vrindavanadi She Karunamrita Vahani Kripaya Nijapadabja Dasyam Mayam Pratiyatam Nitai Namineche Namirhate Shadhamulya Nam Dite Chere Nite Namineche Namirhate Shadhamulya Nam Dite Chere Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gaur Premanande Haribo. We're continuing our reading of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, taking up where we left off on Wednesday night last. And if you'll remind me where that is, then I'll begin reading.
Text
35. We made so much progress. That's amazing. Mantra Guru Aro Jata Shikha Guru Ghan Thahar Charana Age Kare Vandan I first offer my respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of my initiating spiritual master and all my instructing spiritual masters. So mantra guru, up. The initiating spiritual master, aro, and also jata, as many as there are. Shikha guru gan, all of the instructing spiritual masters. Tahar, of all of them. Charana, at the lotus feet. Age, at first. Kare, I offer. Vandana, my respectful obeisances. I first offer my respectful obeisances at the lotus feet of my initiating spiritual master. And Jata Shikha Guru Tahar, as many as there are, all my Shiksha Guru, the Gana. Gana means the group of instructing spiritual masters. I offer my respects at their lotus feet. Purport. Srila Jiva Goswami, in his thesis, Bhakti Sandarbha 202, has stated that uncontaminated devotional service is the objective of pure Vaishnavas, and that one has to execute such service in the association of other devotees. By associating with devotees of Lord Krishna, one develops a sense of Krishna consciousness and thus becomes inclined toward the loving service of the Lord. This is the process of approaching the Supreme Lord by gradual appreciation in devotional service. I'll read that again. This is the process of approaching the Supreme Lord by gradual appreciation in devotional service. So in other words, we associate with the devotees. There's no other way to get Krishna consciousness or to advance in Krishna consciousness. One must associate, and association means that we have to hear and chant with the devotees. We also have to serve the devotees, and we have to be very respectful in our dealings, understanding that the Vaishnavas are very dear to Lord Krishna. And from that kind of association, then we get gradual appreciation of devotional service from the Vaishnavas. If one desires unalloyed devotional service, one must associate with devotees of Sri Krishna, for by such association only can a conditioned soul achieve a taste for transcendental love and thus revive his eternal relationship with Godhead in a specific manifestation and in terms of the specific transcendental mellow, rasa, that one has eternally inherent in him. That's so important, I'm going to read it again. If one desires unalloyed devotional service, one must associate with devotees of Sri Krishna, for by such association only can a conditioned soul achieve a taste for transcendental love and thus revive his eternal relationship with Godhead in a specific manifestation and in terms of the specific transcendental mellow, rasa, that one has eternally inherent in him. If one develops love for Krishna by Krishna conscious activities, one can know the supreme absolute truth, but he who tries to understand God simply by logical arguments will not succeed, nor will he get a taste for unalloyed devotion. The secret is that one must submissively listen to those who know perfectly the science of God, and one must begin the mode of service regulated by the preceptor. A devotee already attracted by the name, form, qualities, etc. of the Supreme Lord may be directed to his specific manner of devotional service. He need not waste time in approaching the Lord through logic. The expert spiritual master knows well how to engage his disciples' energy in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, and thus he engages a devotee in a specific devotional service according to his special tendency. A devotee must have only one initiating spiritual master, because in the scriptures acceptance of more than one is always forbidden. There is no limit, however, to the number of instructing spiritual masters one may accept. Generally, a spiritual master who constantly instructs a disciple in spiritual science becomes his initiating spiritual master later on. One should always remember that a person who is reluctant to accept a spiritual master and be initiated is sure to be baffled in his endeavor to go back to Godhead. One who is not properly initiated may present himself as a great devotee, but in fact he is sure to encounter many stumbling blocks on his path of progress towards spiritual realization, with the result that he must continue his term of material existence without relief. Such a helpless person is compared to a ship without a rudder. Such a ship can never reach its destination. It is imperative, therefore, that one accept a spiritual master if he at all desires to gain the favor of the Lord. The service of the spiritual master is essential. If there is no chance to serve the spiritual master directly, a devotee should serve him by remembering his instructions. There is no difference between the spiritual master's instructions and the spiritual master himself. In his absence, therefore, his words of direction should be the pride of the disciple. If one thinks that he is above consulting anyone else, including a spiritual master, he is at once an offender at the lotus feet of the Lord. Such an offender can never go back to Godhead. It is imperative that a serious person accept a bona fide spiritual master in terms of the Shastra conjunctions. Sri Jiva Goswami advises that one not accept a spiritual master in terms of hereditary or customary social or ecclesiastical conventions. One should simply try to find a genuinely qualified spiritual master for actual advancement in spiritual understanding. And now, I'd like to just, before we take questions, to illuminate and expand the conversation, please look at Srimad Bhagavatam 11, 22, 34. And if you want a shortcut method for getting there, as Shraddha pointed out to me yesterday, you can go to Google and put in 11, 22, 34, and you go fast as lightning. Atma pariyagnanamayo vivadho hyastiti nastiti bidharta nishta vyarto pinaivo paramita pumsam mata paravritta diyam swalokat. So Atma means of the Supreme Soul, aparignanamaya, based on lack of full knowledge. Vivada, speculative argument. He, indeed, asti, this world, is real. Iti, thus saying, na asti, it is not real. Iti, thus saying, bida, material differences. Artanishta, having as its focus of discussion. Vyarta, worthless. Api, although. Na, does not. Eva, certainly. Uparamita, cease. Pungsam, for persons. Mata, from me. Paravrata, who have turned. Diyam, their attention. Swalokat, who am non-different from them. And the translation is everybody listening? Yes? Okay. The speculative argument of philosophers, this world is real, no, it is not real, is based upon incomplete knowledge of the Supreme Soul and is simply aimed at understanding material dualities. Although such argument is useless, persons who have turned their attention away from me, their own true self, are unable to give it up. And here's the purport. If one doubts the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one will inevitably doubt the reality of the Lord's creation. Thus, without understanding Lord Krishna, mere argument and debate over the reality and non-reality of the material world are useless. The material world is real specifically because it emanates from the Supreme Reality. Lord Krishna. Again, the material world is real specifically because it emanates from the Supreme Reality, Lord Krishna. Without understanding the reality of Lord Krishna, one can never definitely ascertain the reality of his creation. One will always wonder if he is actually seeing something or merely thinking that he is seeing it. This kind of speculation can be resolved without This kind of speculation can never be resolved without taking shelter of the Supreme Lord and is therefore useless. The devotees of the Lord are not inclined to such argument because they are factually advancing in spiritual enlightenment and are fully satisfied with their progressively more beautiful experience of Krishna consciousness. So boo, chant. Don't complain, chant. Don't argue, chant. Of course, Siddhanta Bolachita Kara Alash, Iha Hoite Krishna Lage Sudrid Manash. One should thoroughly and fully discuss the Shastra to come to Siddhanta, but that should be the purpose. However, if we look again at this verse, you go up a little higher, we see this tendency is to argue about things which are apariyajnanamaya. They're based on lack of knowledge. In other words, if a person doesn't have full realization of the topic, he or she argues it and vacillates from one position to the next. The person who's arguing for something can end up on the other side of the argument and say, oh, now I accept this. Back and forth it goes. And so arguing amongst people who don't have full realization are simply vivada. They're speculating. And they don't have surrender in mind, and they haven't had any realization, therefore, go on arguing for no good reason, and it's not helpful. So one has to come to the point of surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And if you'll go back to the verse that we have today from the Chaitanya Charitamrita, part of the surrender process is this acceptance of the spiritual master and submission in the matter of hearing Krishna consciousness through the parampara, executing the orders and the association of other devotees. So now let's take some questions that will illuminate the conversation and expand it.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, what is uncontaminated devotional service? What we read today in the purport.
It means that anyabhilashita shunyam. It's free of jnana karma jnanavritam, this definition of uncontaminated devotional service. Uncontaminated devotional service means that we're not self-interested and asking anything for ourselves. We're doing service for service. So also there's a sense that there's a progression in the process of coming to the perfection of devotional service, which is uncontaminated, in which one may start with, for instance, in the Vedic process, offering karma. It means I'm following the Vedic injunctions and I'm doing sacrifice as mentioned in the Vedas. And then later on I get a sense of knowledge through which I'm speculating about the Lord. So that there's karma, jnana, but in bhakti there's a spontaneous way in which, out of love, we're offering Krishna everything. All of our activities, whatever we're doing, we're simply doing out of spontaneous love for Krishna. So there's a progressive path that comes to that point. In the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about how some people try vidyamam soma papa. He mentions there's a way in which people who are performing karma ascend to a higher position in the material world, but later on they fall back down again. And he also mentions that if somebody, he says that you can go anywhere you like in the material world, and that people oftentimes worship different demigods. And he said that they're actually worshiping me, but in a wrong way. And he says that it's very complicated to perform activities of karma and jnana, but for me, to worship me is very simple. Patram pushpam palam toyam, easily obtained items like a fruit, a flower, water, you can offer me. And then Krishna says, Yat koroshi rashnasiyat johosi dadasiyat yat tapasyasi kontayat tat kurishva manarpanam. He's saying that actually to get into this uncontaminated devotional service, one can, instead of offering things through the demigods and so forth, you can directly offer it to me. Whatever you're doing, offer it to me. And this is a precursor to coming to the point of unalloyed devotional service, where one has no conception that I'm getting something in return. I'm doing this, or for instance, in karma, one does one's work, and at the end of the day, one may say, I offer this to Krishna. Or one may do some sacrifice like fasting, and at the end of the day, one says, I offer this to Krishna. But actually, Prahlad Maharaj says, when one comes to the platform of unalloyed devotional service, he's engaged in the direct process of worshiping Krishna without doing one's own work and then offering that work later on. So he mentions to his father, when the father Hiranyakashipu asked, what is the best thing you've learned? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmani, Vedanam, Iti Pumsart Pita Vishnu, Bhaktishchan Navalakshana, Kriyeta Bhagavat Yada, Tan Manam Ditam Uttamam. There's a way in which he says that when one's intention is first to worship me, and then it enters into these 9 processes of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, with the sole intention of worshiping Krishna, of glorifying him. This is direct devotional service. And when one's engaged in these processes directly to worship Krishna, with no sense of karma, that I'm doing something for myself and then later offering it to Krishna, or jnana, using my own intelligence to speculate who's God, but I'm simply directly worshiping him, and I have no ulterior motive. This is anya bilashita shunyam jnana karmanyanavritam. It's free from all these other tendencies. And anukulyena krishnanushilanam. There's a way that it's favorable to Krishna, because there are some who think of Krishna constantly, but they're thinking of him in a derogatory way, like Shishupal. He thought of Krishna from the time he was born, but he was complaining about him. He was always criticizing Krishna, blaspheming him, and Kamsa thought of Krishna constantly. So this is not anukul, it's not favorable. The unalloyed devotional service means that a person's always thinking of Krishna, but it's anukul. He's thinking favorably, how can I give some comfort to Krishna? How can I give something nice to Krishna? And they're spontaneously engaged in that way. And in the beginning, we cultivate that through our Vaidhi Bhakti, offering things to Krishna according to the rules and regulations of Panchratrik. And we also immediately can enter into the process of direct devotional service through hearing, chanting, remembering, and so on, that are mentioned in the 9 processes. Thank you for your question.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Is there another question here?
Maharaj, this is Shamalangi Devidar.
Hare Krishna, Shamalangi.
The verse you just quoted, I had heard of a very similar one. I just came across. This is Srimad Bhagavatam 6.4.31, and it's also quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita in the when Gopinath Acharya is talking to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So the translation says, this is 6.4.31 from Srimad Bhagavatam. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the all-pervading Supreme Personality of Godhead, who possesses unlimited transcendental qualities, acting from within the cores of the hearts of all philosophers who propagate various views. He causes them to forget their own souls, while sometimes agreeing and sometimes disagreeing among themselves. Thus he creates within this material world a situation in which they are unable to come to a conclusion. I offer my obeisances unto him.
Yeah, nice citation. Let me read the purport. Since time immemorial, or since the creation of the cosmic manifestation, the conditioned souls have formed various parties of philosophical speculation, but this is not true of the devotees. Non-devotees have different ideas of creation, maintenance, and annihilation, and therefore they are called vadis or prativadis, proponents and counter-proponents. It is understood from the statement of Mahabharata that there are many munis or speculators, tarko pratishta shutayo vibinna, nasav rashir yasya matam nabdinam. All speculators must disagree with other speculators. Otherwise, why should there be so many opposing parties concerned with ascertaining the supreme cause? Philosophy means finding the ultimate cause. As Vedanta Sutra very reasonably says, atato brahma jignasa, human life is meant for understanding the ultimate cause. Devotees accept that the ultimate cause is Krishna because this conclusion is supported by all Vedic literature and also by Krishna himself, who says, aham sarvasya prabhava, I am the source of everything. Devotees have no problem understanding the ultimate cause of everything, but non-devotees must face many opposing elements because everyone who wants to be a prominent philosopher invents his own way. In India, there are many parties of philosophers such as Dvaitavadis, Advaitavadis, Vaisesikas, Mamamshakas, Mayavadis, and Swabhavavadis, and each of them opposes the others. Similarly, in the Western countries, there are also many philosophers with different views of creation, life, maintenance, and annihilation. Thus, it is undoubtedly a fact that there are countless philosophers throughout the world, each of them contradicting the others. Now one might ask why there are so many philosophers if the ultimate goal of philosophy is one. Undoubtedly, the ultimate cause is one, the Supreme Brahman. As Arjuna told Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 10:12, Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Paramang Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. You are the Supreme Brahman, the ultimate, the supreme abode and purifier, the absolute truth, and the eternal divine person. You are the primal God, transcendental and original, and you are the unborn and all-pervading beauty. Non-devotee speculators, however, do not accept an ultimate cause, sarva karana karanam, because they are ignorant and bewildered concerning the soul and its activities. Even though some of them have a vague idea of the soul, many controversies arise, and the philosophical speculators can never reach a conclusion. All of these speculators are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 16:19-20, Tanahang dvishatam krura, kruran samsareshu naradhaman, shrapam ajasramashubhan, asura shreva yonishu, asurim yonima panna, mudha janmana janmani, mudha janmani janmani, mam aprapyaiva kaunteya, tato yantyatamam gatim. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life, attaining repeated birth and death. Attaining repeated birth among the species of demoniac life. Such persons can never approach me. Gradually they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. Because of their envy of the Supreme Personality of God, and non-devotees are born in demoniac families, life after life. They are great offenders, and because of their offenses, the Supreme Lord keeps them always bewildered. Kurvanti chaisham muhur atmamoham. The Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, purposefully keeps them in darkness. Atmamoham. The great authority, Parashara, the father of Vyasadeva, explains the Supreme Personality of Godhead thus. Jnana Shakti Balaishvarya Virya Tejam Syasheshata Bhagavat Shabda Vachyani Vina Heyar Gunadibi. The demoniac speculators cannot understand the transcendental qualities, form, pastime, strength, knowledge, or opulence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which are all free from material contamination. Vina Heyar Gunadibi. These speculators are envious of the existence of the Lord. Jagaradhur Anishvaram. Their conclusion is that the entire cosmic manifestation has no controller, but is just working naturally. Thus they are kept in constant darkness, birth after birth, and cannot understand the real cause of all causes. This is the reason why there are so many schools of philosophical speculation. Thank you. A very important introduction of that verse. And from Vaikuntha Nayaka Prabhu, he says, in the Srimad Bhagavatam verse, we read that without getting an understanding of Krishna, it is not possible to understand the nature of this world. But isn't the Sankhya process all about knowing the 23 elements of material world to be impermanent and then graduating to the spiritual platform and knowing Krishna? Aren't the two seemingly contradictory? We should know from Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hridisani vishto mataksmitir jnanam apohanam cha vairashya sarvarhameva vedya vedanta kridveda videva chaham. First of all, that Krishna is the source of all remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Furthermore, he's also the goal of the Vedas. He's the creator of the Vedas, and he's the goal of the Vedas. Let's speak of the various Vedic processes. These are all like tributaries and of rivers. And unless these various other tributary philosophies connect to the main river, like the Ganga, that is huge and is inexorably flowing towards the ocean, they don't make it all the way. So a lot of these philosophies and philosophers that are mentioned, unless they become devotees and come to the point of understanding that Vasudeva Sarvamiti, that Krishna is everything. As Krishna mentions in 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Jamanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. There are all kinds of speculators who try to understand the absolute truth in this way or that way. But until they come to the point of Vasudeva Sarvamiti, the Vasudeva's everything. Everything's meant for Krishna. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was a young scholar, he used to argue all the time. And then when he went to Gaya, he met Srila Ishvarapuri and he surrendered. And when he came back, he was interpreting all his teachings in Sanskrit to his students who were studying grammar. They say, what are the meaning of these verbal roots? And he said, they all mean Krishna. Everything means Krishna. And they went to his teacher, his education guru, and he said to Gangadasa Pandit, and they said, I think that Nimai Pandit's gone mad. He says that everything means Krishna. Everything is Krishna. Everything means Krishna. There's no other meaning. But that's the truth. It all does mean Krishna. So when after all these philosophies are said and done, until they lead into the process of pure devotional service, then they leave us stranded somewhere and without a resting place. But if one takes to the process of devotional service, Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayat Yashuvairagyam Jnanam Chayarahaitukam, the kind of jnana and vairagya. This Sankhya philosophy is meant to help us understand one thing. There's a difference between consciousness and matter. And then it's meant to bring us to understand that there's a controller of all matter. This is what Kapila, the manifestation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, teaches in the 3rd canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, there's an atheist Kapila also that we're not to follow. And his conclusion and the conclusion of many Sankhya followers is there is no supreme, and that the soul is a temporary manifestation in this world also. So the perfection of that knowledge comes as one enters into the process of direct devotional service, and then these understandings are concomitant. One understands I'm different from matter, and one also becomes detached or unattached from the material world. Then we have from Dhanavari. She says, you mentioned the other day that when we pray to Radha and Krishna, we are praying to Lakshmi Narayan. Can you please explain much more about this? If so, we pray Lakshmi Narayan directly. It means that Vraj Bhakti is Raga Bhakti. We're on the Rag Marg, but to get there, because our devotional service isn't spontaneous, we're given the Pancharatric system. So when we worship Radha Krishna, Of course, they're Radha Krishna. We see Krishna there with his flute and Radharani, but we're worshiping him in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan, because in the temple worship, we see Krishna as the king. Everything has to be there perfectly in order, on time, and this is the way that we worship Krishna in the temple, so that gradually we'll come to the point of a spontaneous devotional service, but even the external worship will remain the same. But in the beginning, we can't claim to be spontaneous lovers of Krishna. The method of worshiping Krishna in Vraja is unceremonious. There's no ritual. It's all coming from the heart, and it is not understandable, and it shouldn't be imitated by those who are not spontaneously attracted yet. Tadiya Seva, the Supreme Lord in old Vedic literature addressed as Supreme Brahman before Bhagavatam was written by Srila Vyasadeva. What's the question? Was the Supreme Lord in old Vedic literature addressed as Supreme Brahman before Bhagavatam was written by Srila Vyasadeva? Well, in the Rig Veda, Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Param Sada Pashanti Surayo Divavachakshurata Tanta Vipraso Vibanyavo Jagravam Saha Sminda Te Vishnu Yat Paramam Param. The Supreme is there, situated in his abode, and those who are in knowledge of him, of Vishnu, they're keeping their vision fixed on that supreme goal. So yes, the Supreme Lord is there in the ancient Vedas, and his name is Vishnu. And Sid says, in the last line of the purport, one is advised to simply try to find a genuinely qualified spiritual master. How does one go about trying to find a spiritual master? The way that one finds a spiritual master, the primary way is to become a sincere disciple, because Krishna actually is within the heart, and he reveals knowledge to us according to our desire. Yeyata mam prapadyante tam stataiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanavartante manusha parta sarvasha. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, as you surrender unto me, I reward you accordingly. So, according to the intensity of our desire to know Krishna, Krishna reveals himself. And one of the ways that he reveals himself, the primary way in which he reveals himself, is through guidance from the external, our external environment, especially through the principle of Guru. So you see the example of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj was a 5-year-old boy. He just heard from his mother that he needed to get relief from his current situational problem by finding God. So he said, if it's the last thing I ever do, I'm going to find God. I mean, his mood was do or die. I'm going to find God. And he didn't know who he was. He didn't know exactly how to find him, but he had the intensity of desire to find him. And because of that, Narada Muni intercepted Dhruva Maharaj on his way to the forest. And then it gave him instruction about how to actually find God. That was a result of Krishna being in the heart of Dhruva Maharaj and instructing Narada Muni to come and meet him. So meeting of a spiritual master is dependent on one's intensity of purpose to know the absolute truth. And when that is there, one is able to be enlivened from within the heart to meet up with those deeksha guru and shiksha gurus who can assist one in understanding the absolute truth. So that's where it begins. One should also, just like if you're going to go to a doctor, you should find out what is a doctor. Because practically nowadays, everybody's a doctor, it seems to me. If you go on social media, everyone will tell you how to cure the coronavirus. Somebody the other day posted that if you just inhale vodka, that you'll become free from the virus. Apparently that's a Russian cure. And every other form, just take this, just take that, whatever. Everybody's a doctor, so you should find out who's actually a real doctor before you go in to have your self operated upon. And like in finding a normal doctor, what do? I mean, did the person go through medical school? Let's say you're going to an Ayurvedic doctor. Ayurveda is very complicated, and it's an intuitive science. It's like most other sciences ultimately has an intuitive side. And, you really have to get training from a master to become a great Ayurvedic doctor. And you have to practice yourself in order to come to the point of being able to take somebody's pulse. Or an allopathic doctor, a heart doctor. I was reading an article the other day in research for my book. It was all about how the stethoscope became the main symbol of a doctor, isn't it? Whenever you see a doctor, a picture of a doctor, even like if it's an advertisement using an actor that looks like a doctor, you put on two things. One's a white lab coat, and the other is a stethoscope hanging around the neck. Think about that. If you don't have one of those, you're not really a doctor. And those who know how to listen to somebody's heart can hear all kinds of sounds that nobody else can hear. This was in the article I was reading about heart doctors. And actually they have the recording on the website of what they play the recording of the heart, which is extremely revealing, when you think about the heart in there beating, and there's all kinds of complicated parts going on within the heart, different compartments and so forth. And then the doctor was explaining what he heard. I didn't hear anything. I just heard blood flowing through some ventricle, and he heard, oh, this person has, something's wrong with part of the ventricle. It needs to be fixed. He could hear it because he's been trained. So if you want somebody to assist you on your spiritual path, that person has to have studied under another doctor. Can't have just read a textbook. Prabhupada points this out, that you don't go to a doctor and say, how did you become a doctor? And say, well, I just read the textbook. You have to ask, Neil, our Dr. Jariwala. He had to go through studying under all these teachers, and now he has to do residency. So those who have studied under a bona fide teacher who's a master, and then they've become acquainted with the science through practicing it themselves and learning everything about it, then become able to listen to our heart and say, okay, I hear a little, defect from the sound that's coming from you right now, and let's adjust it. So you have to study the science of who is a guru. There are many verses in the Shastra which explain Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta Jignasu Shreya Uttamam Shabde Paricha Nishnatam Brahmanyu Pashramashayam. So this is one of the verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam in which Krishna says, therefore, Tasmad Gurum Prapadyeta, you should surrender to a guru. What is a guru? Jignasu Shreya Uttamam. You should inquire from him about the ultimate goal of life. Don't go ask stupid questions about how I can get a better economic situation or so. Shabde Parijanishnatam. A guru is somebody who has heard thoroughly. That's the main qualification. A person who has heard all of the sound vibrations coming from the Shastra and from his spiritual master. Shabde Pari. As Prabhupada puts it poetically, that person has taken a dip in the ocean of transcendental knowledge. Because you need somebody who can diagnose you and then remove the obstacles. Shabde Paritanishnatam Brahman Upashramashrayam. And that person should also be absorbed in the process, him or herself, and practicing fully. So many verses like that. So that's a few thoughts for you, Sid Prabhu. Monisha says, in regards to devotional service and taking to spirituality, we know that is how we can attain ultimate happiness. But we were reading the other day from Nectar of Devotion, and it said there are three kinds of happiness: material, spiritual, and devotional. Devotional service and the happiness due to execution are not possible as long as one is materially affected. I was a little confused why devotional and spiritual happiness are put in different levels. Isn't devotional happiness under spirituality? Could you clarify this? Yes, this is. These are the three categories that Rupa Goswami mentions. First, he mentions material happiness, which he said is a misnomer because there is no happiness at all in the material world. There's only suffering. Then he mentions the happiness of Brahman, which he said is millions of times greater than material happiness. Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma. You get when you realize you're not your body, as an example, it's a great relief. It's like, if you ever had a dream and you're about to be killed and then you wake up and you realize, oh, it was just a dream. How do you feel? Kind of happy, right? That's like Brahman happiness. Brahman happiness means I'm relieved because now I know I'm not actually a debtor. I actually have nothing to do with the material world. That's a big relief. But it's not really positive happiness. So then that's spirituality, spiritual happiness. But the highest happiness is the happiness of devotional service. And that means rasa. Raso Vaisaha. Krishna is the origin of all these rasas. And one enters into this rasa through the process of devotional service. And that means a loving relationship with Krishna in 5 kinds of relationships. And when the relationship is there, then we really start to taste happiness that makes the happiness of spirituality seem like the water contained within the hoofprint of a calf compared to the ocean. That's how great the devotional service is. Hope that helps, Monisha. Radhavenkat Prabhu, as usual, is giving us the pramanam very expertly. He gave 11.321. That's for you, Sid, and anyone else who wants to know where that verse is that I quoted. Mukarvinda also did that. Thank you. And here we have from Facebook. Anything more from Facebook? It looks like it ended after the Japa circle. We have Kalyan said, amazing point about the Aishvarya mood of Bhakti and Madhurya mood of Bhakti. Many of us don't have any conception of what Rag Marg is. Thanks for explaining it so nicely. Well, one of my favorite explanations of Rag Marg, and there are many explanations. It's a great science, and it's there within the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and many other of the Goswami literatures, and revealed to us throughout Prabhupada's teachings in various ways, but in a very spontaneous way of explaining it. Achyutananda Prabhu, who is one of the first, if not the first, follower of Srila Prabhupada, who came in 1966 or 7 in New York and started following Prabhupada. He's a really genius type of person, expert at practically everything that he does. And one of the first ones to bring bhajan into ISKCON. He was evading the draft of the Vietnam War, so Prabhupada sent him to India. He lived there at Prabhupada's godbrother's mutt, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, for many years. He learned Bengali and Hindi and all kinds of things. In any case, great soul. And a few years ago, after he wrote his book, Blazing Sadhus, he was giving a talk in New Vrindavan. And in a very impassioned speech, he was talking about Rag Marg. And he said, Prabhupada's getting on a boat with no money and coming to America with no connections. Only the burning desire to please his spiritual master in his heart. He said, if you want to see Rag Marg, that's Rag Marg. Like a madman practically. Sarup Damodar, of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's intimate associate, when he heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, he became like a madman. And he went away and then came back and joined Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he apologized for running off. But the devotees, they become overwhelmed by the process of serving the Supreme and serving their gurus and so forth. And in that, there's this spontaneous nature. And of course, as we know, the Ragmarg means to follow in the footsteps of the residents of Vrindavan, of Raj. This is our path. Tanama rupa charitari sukirtananu smrityo kramena rasanamanasi niyoja tishtam vraje tananu ragi jananugami kalam nayed akilam itupadesha saram. The essence of all advice in devotional service given by Rupa Goswami is that we should hear, chant, and remember and serve, etc. These 9 processes of direct devotional service. And we should come then to the point of becoming attracted to this sound vibration. It happens as a natural course. And from that, we'll become spontaneously attracted to a specific devotee in Vraj who's performing devotional service in a specific way, and we'll begin to follow in the footsteps of that devotee under guidance. And then we enter into Vraj, Tishtan Vraje, Tanaduragi Jananugami, by following in the footsteps of these parishads, the eternal associates of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But there are displays of Ragmarg even in this world. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, on his logo for the Gaudiya Math, he put the printing press with Brihat Madanga, he called it, and above it he put Ragmarg. There's a practical way in which we're also following the footsteps of those devotees who are so mad with love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that they'll go anywhere and everywhere in the world without concern for their own welfare, simply to spread the message and follow the instruction of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is also a display of spontaneity in devotional service without any doubt. Bhakti and Paula, Hare Krishna. Just wanted to share this. In Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, Krishna says, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge. Yes, this is a very important point brought up in the first verse of the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, in which Krishna reveals himself to Arjuna. We generally don't reveal ourselves to people. Even casual associates or even friends, they have to be very intimate. And the reason they become intimate is we know they're not envious of us. They actually love us, and they're not competing, and they're not trying to dominate us. It's very rare in this world. But it's the most essential, actually, in devotional service, that we have this kind of relationship with devotees so we can reveal our hearts. Guhyamapyati prichyati. And when we approach Krishna, if we develop this non-envious attitude, and especially it starts with interacting with his devotees in a non-envious way and finding those with whom we can share our hearts, then Krishna begins to accept us as genuine and non-envious. And that's the position from which we're able to receive all knowledge about Krishna. Only from that position, because we can't ever approach him and know him in knowledge by demanding it or by competing with him. But if we surrender to Guru, Yasya Devi Para Bhaktir Yata Devi Tata Guru, Tasyaite Kachita Hyarta Prakashanti Mahatmana. The Shastra says that only to those who are faithful in serving Guru and Krishna simultaneously do all the imports of Vedic knowledge come. You can memorize a lot of stuff, you can become a scholar, but you'll miss the point unless you're faithful. So the Guru principle is very important. It's out of all the 64 items of devotional service, the entryway, according to Rupa Goswami, is to surrender to Guru and understand that principle first. Vibhu Sharma from the Facebook says, how to remain steady in Krishna consciousness when one is not physically well or diseased. Yeah, that's a very difficult thing. So to be unwell physically, it makes it a little more difficult. So we should try to stay as healthy as possible. Krishna recommends in the Bhagavad Gita, Yukta hara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu, yukta swapna babodasya yogo bhavati dukkha. He said, try to remain balanced in your life so that you can dukkha, you can become free from misery so that you're not too distracted in your devotional practice. But I know devotees who are under severe restrictions according to their bodily existence, and there's no impediment ultimately. If you're sincere and you do what you can with what you have, Krishna will give you more facility to advance. I know devotees who, I know devotees who have, there was a devotee named Radhanath Das, and he passed away a few years ago, 10, 15 years ago, but I used to do Sankirtan with him. He was confined to a wheelchair. He had some really awful disease that crippled him, hands, legs, everything. He had one of those automated mechanical wheelchairs, and he used to do Sankirtan, and he'd show up at every program and so forth. Where there's a will, there's a way. So you have to do what you can with what you have. And finally, Madhava Prema asks how to overcome the urge to do some mundane duty right now, even though it's sometimes which can be done later. For example, if a message comes while one is chanting and there is an urge to reply. So for those kinds of things, is everybody still there? Just checking. I'm going at 100 miles an hour here, and I hope I'm not.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Yes.
All right,
Hare
so,
Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
okay, wait, I'm not done. I'm answering Madhava Prema's question. He says, he gave a specific example of what if a message comes in when chanting and there's an urge to reply. Make a list, Madhava Prema, of all the ways in which you get distracted, and then eliminate those distractions. This is a very practical way to make advancement in any discipline and to become more focused in your life. First you have to become aware of what it is that's distracting you. It's like in business, in managing a business and helping it to expand, you have to know what the obstacles are. You have to actually list them, and then you have to brainstorm how to overcome the obstacles. This is part of growth in an organization. So in the same way, you have to have a list of the things that are distracting you in your life. Then you have to have a plan to overcome them. It doesn't happen automatically. What happens automatically is we get distracted because that's the tendency of the mind, and the material world accommodates that tendency. So, for instance, you gave the example of being distracted by your cell phone while you're chanting. So now, if you know that's a problem, write down that on a list, that this is what's distracting me, and now tell me 3 ways that you can overcome it, or at least one. Go ahead, type it in there. Please. Yeah, here you go.
Keep the cell phone away.
Okay, yeah, he's typing, but others are speaking it. So keep the cell phone away, like where? Keeping in a different room. Madhava Prema said keeping in a different room. Does a cell phone have an on-off switch?
Make an oath of turning
Yes,
off.
it does. What's that?
Make an oath of turning off your phone. You once did that.
Okay, make an oath to turn off your phone. Now there's a concept. What happens when the phone is off? It doesn't ring. It has no more power over us. So we have to decide ahead of time that we'll turn it off. And then, boy, what an empowerment that is when the phone's off. It has no more control over me. I'm superior energy to matter. But there's this very interesting phenomena that Kapiladev brings up. And it's Maitreya, because Vidura asks him, how is it that the superior energy of the soul gets dominated by matter? And Maitreya said, it's an oddity. It's really a strange phenomena because we should be the dominant ones over matter. But it's because we become indifferent, he says, to Krishna. And vimukha, we turn our face away and we're just like, I'm not paying attention. So we have to become unmukha. We have to get our head in the game. You know, it's like your coach will tell you on the field, get your head back in the game. You know, you're just running around the field with no comprehension of what's happening. So find out what's going on around here and get back into it. So you have to be very deliberate, and that's why Rupa Goswami gives these 6 items that will take you in the wrong way, and 6 items will take you in the right way. They're very practical. So turn your phone off and put it in the other room and see how you feel. And, maybe put it in your neighbor's house or put it in a safety deposit box while you chant japa. It depends how well you want to do. You're welcome. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else? Okay. Yes, please go ahead.
I was just thinking that I have 2 placards at home. I actually wrote down the quotes and put it just in front of where I chant. One of them says, Krishna is present fully in his holy name. And this is realized by the humility and sincerity in our chanting. And the other one is replace behaviors that impede growth with behaviors that nourish it.
Let's say the second one. You said it really fast. I couldn't hear you.
Sorry, the replace behaviors that impede growth with behaviors that nourish it. And the flower of self-realization will bloom. So I have it put on like this. So I sit in front of it and chant. So personally, I think that if I get distracted, I can read it and reiterate that I am supposed to, especially as Prabhu said about the cell phone, that was the most difficult thing. So I knew that was the most impeding in my spiritual life. That's one of the impeding things. There are several. So I just try to have a quote in front of me. So I keep seeing it and it'll remind me, oh, I'm supposed to do it, remember?
Very good. Yes. So this means you have your head in the game and you're deliberately trying to pay attention and overcome the obstacles. And more may come up because, after some time, the words on the, on that document you put up there, you might not see it anymore. And then you have to come up with a new way to overcome it. So we always have to try to stay a few steps ahead. Madhava Govinda Prabhu gave us something from Amazon. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. Then put your phone in a neighbor's house. Prashant. Okay. Would you please, Akadashi Vrata, elaborate on how one can be humble and genuinely think all others are better than they are, but at the same time look for appropriate association which requires discernment? How can we be humble and genuinely think all others are better than they are? Oh, I see what you're saying. And then find appropriate association. Well, Mahaprabhu recommended find those who are more advanced than oneself and who are like-minded. Means they have the similar kind of mood in devotional service. Their goal is as similar, and they're more advanced. And how can you tell they're actually more advanced? It's really based on the ways that they are engaged in devotional service without any breakage. And you'll know it when you see it, because you feel that kind of association when you get into it. It draws you. You feel that you're being improved in your devotional service by being in that association. It's a very subtle energy, but the fact is that you walk away feeling, I'm better than I was before, and I'm getting nourishment from hearing from this person. And when you can find devotees like that, and they're in the same mood, like there may be great scholars and they're talking about this or that, but maybe they're not in the same mood. Like we have this, feeling of attraction for staying under Prabhupada's lotus feet, and he has certain conclusions. And like, for instance, his mood of preaching, he would talk about nonviolence that's there in every scripture. Ahimsa is the first process in Ashtanga Yoga, and Patanjali goes into great detail about it. Krishna talks about it when he says, Amanitvam adamvitva ahimsa shantirarjavam, ahimsa, ahimsa, ahimsa. So everyone interprets that differently. What is ahimsa? But Prabhupada's interpretation was ahimsa, nonviolence means you have to actually be preaching to people. Because if you see that they're suffering and you don't go give them Krishna consciousness, you're committing violence. That's a mood. And there are many other symptoms of that mood that come from Srila Prabhupada. So that's my example of what it means to discern somebody's mood. And when you resonate with that, then a like-minded, more advanced person is going to be somebody in that same mood that you're cultivating, who's obviously attached to Krishna, who's most addicted to hearing and chanting and so forth, and who helps you. And if you find somebody who's helping you, it means they're advanced, and they're giving you the vibration that's curing your... Chitralekha Saki, fantastic. Great to see you here. In the purport of CC, we read today about the essential importance of deeksha. Many years ago, a very senior devotee who is an initiating guru in our movement told me that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that if we think of him at the time of death, we go back to him, and that he does not mention deeksha as a criteria. Please, how to understand these two apparently opposite statements? Well, Prabhupada mentioned that the mood is important. In his purport, you'll notice, Chitralekha Saki, that Prabhupada said, if you think you're above taking instruction from anybody else, then you become an offender. And, to actually come to the point of remembering Krishna, it's important to be a surrendered soul. And very prominently there in the Shastra is the way in which we become inclined toward taking shelter under Vaishnavas. Because the Vaishnavas are Krishna's representative. Actually, they have something even Krishna doesn't have. You can say, I just go to Krishna directly. And first of all, Krishna says in the Adi Purana, someone who says he's my devotee isn't my devotee. But somebody who says he's the devotee of my devotee is my devotee. What do devotees have that even Krishna doesn't have? Love of Krishna. Even Krishna wants that. That's why he comes as Lord Chaitanya and pretends to be a devotee. Because, I want that too. So devotees have that. They have that Swarup Shakti, the internal potency that as the lover of Krishna, and that's the energy that we're most interested in. And when we take shelter of Krishna's devotees and serve them, then Krishna's most satisfied. Because Krishna loves his devotees so much and is always trying to serve them. He says that in the verse, Ananyas chintayanto mam yejana paripasate, tesham nityapyuktanam yogakshemam bahami aham. He says, for those who are ananyas chinta, their consciousness is only on serving me, then bahami, I personally come to serve them. With my own hands, it means, vahami aham. With my own hands I'm serving. It's not indirect. I love them so much I want to serve them. On the other hand, devotees never want to take service from Krishna. So that's a conundrum for Krishna. So if you find a Vaishnav that's dear to Krishna and you serve that Vaishnav, you're fulfilling Krishna's innermost desire. And that's why you become very quickly recognized by Krishna. So you can say, I'll take Guru by Veda base. I'll just remember Krishna directly, and so forth. These things are not what Krishna says. They're not what his idea is, and so forth. So we need to find out what Krishna's mood is and how to serve him. And furthermore, there is something that Prabhupada said there that you can be considered offensive if you think that I'm above putting myself under guru. First of all, somebody might say, well, I can't find any gurus because there's nobody in the world. There are no gurus in the world anymore. The last ones are gone. I mean, every religious tradition has a branch that says that. In Islam or whatever, I'm not going to mention particular ones, but they all say there was a last Messiah and then that's it. There's nobody else. Then what do you have? Well, how good is that process that, the last person was there and then nobody else could come to a higher level to be a teacher in that position. It's all just us and then that Messiah that was there thousands of years ago in whatever tradition it's in. So that's a tendency to be kind of deliberately negligent of the good qualities in those who are following presently, and be able to see how could I get something from the person who's actually right here. Now in the commentary to the 6th canto by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says that one of the offenses in chanting the holy name, the third offense, is disobey the orders of the spiritual master. So he says that if you're chanting Hare Krishna and you don't take shelter of a Vaishnava for that chanting, and you think that there are no Vaishnavas, I don't need anybody, I'm just going to chant Hare Krishna directly. He says you're chanting Namaparadha, because although you're chanting, you're neglecting Guru, and therefore you're committing the third offense. And he says then, you go on chanting in your next life, then you can get Guru. And this is how important the Guru principle is, that you should be, yes, chant, but chant under the protection of a Vaishnav. And it's the first thing that Rupa Goswami says, out of the 64 items of devotional service, the gateway to entering into them as a Dao Guram Ashrayam. First take shelter of Guru. The Guru is a principle, and it's also a person. The principle of Guru is there, and it's universal, that you have to humble yourself and approach somebody and declare your intentions and have a conscious exchange so that there's acceptance, and then serve. We can go on like that, but there was a few ideas. Yes?
Could I just make a point?
I insist upon it.
Okay. Gaur Govinda Maharaj, in all of his books, he always makes this point about people who say that there's no more gurus left. And he always says that, is the sun rising in the morning? Is the moon shining? Is the universe functioning? And he says that the only reason why the universe is functioning is because the presence of a bona fide sadhus.
Yes, this is the purpose of the world, is to help all souls to go back to Godhead. And the only way that that's possible is if there's Vaishnavas, pure Vaishnavas in the world. And therefore, the proof that there are Vaishnavas in the world is that the sun is shining and the world's going on. Otherwise, it would cease to exist. There are always pure Vaishnavas walking the world somewhere. And just as the world's filled up with food and money, we can only get a certain amount of money. Have you ever noticed that? According to what's allotted to you, you can only get a certain quality and quantity of food. You can't insist upon it. Some people are starving, other people are rich, or some people are poor, even as hard as you might try. So in a similar way, according to our desire, we can find Guru and in this world. Well, we're running out of time because we have a very important presentation about Bhakti community. It's a fun, you get to watch a video and all kinds of stuff to orient us towards some of the very progressive steps we're taking to allow people to come closer to Krishna consciousness. And we're going to start in just a couple minutes as soon as I get positive confirmation that Jayamadava Prabhu is ready to go. And in the meantime, there he is. Okay. So,
Hare Krishna Guru.
Okay, go ahead. Yes, because you were trying to get in a few minutes ago, and
So Guru Maharaj, when you are answering Sirisha Mataji's question, you mentioned everything is Krishna and offer everything to Krishna. So I wrote some of my points, and just now you mentioned Ananyas Chintayantoma. So only two things come to my mind always. So that is Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Vraja, and other thing is Ananyas Chintayantoma Yejina Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhiyuktanam Yogakshemam Vahamyaham. So like it is direct that please surrender to me. I will give you whatever you want. So I see Krishna in all beautiful things, and I offer all beautiful things to him, Guru Maharaj.
well, that's why Krishna gave you this talent for art, because you have that sense of aesthetic. Actually, it's one of the most important services that one can do for Krishna. We notice that people are most spontaneously attracted to beautiful art, either in music, singing, dance, or painting. And really, Prabhupada wanted a cultural revolution through which we present Krishna in these beautiful ways. So it's important what you're doing to dedicate yourself to making beautiful presentations that will attract people's minds and hearts spontaneously.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Guru
you.
Maharaj. I only know decorating Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Whenever I go to India, I'll get all the silk cloths and jewelry to Krishna and decorate him nicely.
Well, that's really beautiful to think about that wherever you go and when you're shopping. This is why Bhakti is so powerful, because we're actually serving the beautiful form of Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So now we have an opportunity to expand our outreach at ISKCON of Silicon Valley in such a way that we bring people along in the process of hearing, chanting, and feeling part of the community. Previously, there were ways in which we would meet somebody, give them a book, and then we'd say, why don't you come to the Sunday program or something like that. That was in the beginning when the movement started, the way that Prabhupada had conceived of this continuation, that is, from the time you meet somebody to the time that they're able to actually practice devotional service, come to the Sunday Love Feast. And nowadays, we meet people here, there, and everywhere. They're maybe not able to come to a Sunday Love Feast, and even if they do, it may or may not be relevant to them. So how is it that from the time that we meet somebody, they can become positively engaged in the 9 processes of devotional service, beginning with hearing and chanting, and come into the fold of the community? Well, we have a solution now. And this is the kind of a solution that is a quantum leap. It's something that we've thought about for many, many years, and now we've actualized it so that everybody in our community at ISV can assist people in coming closer. So the next step is application. We have it, now let's apply it 108% and get it moving in such a direction that we can increase the power of our outreach significantly. Now, to present the particulars of this, we have Jai Madhava Prabhu, who has been working, I must say, tirelessly on this system for several years now. And this is one of the many fruits of his tireless work. And he's going to present it to us today so that we can get a clear orientation towards it and take it up. Does that sound like an okay idea? If so, please find a button at the bottom of your screen that says Reactions, and then you can either push one of these, that gives a thumbs up, or you can present one of these, which is a clapping hand. I'm checking to see if you actually... Okay. Radhakripa Prabhu, did you do it? 2 thumbs up. Okay. Avantika, where's yours? Srivatsa? Thank you. Preeti Radhika. Aniruddha. Sunita. Okay. I think that everybody's into it. Jai Madhava Prabhu. So now I hand it over to you. Please take the full stage and give us the presentation. Lead us to the promised land.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for the opportunity to present the Bhakti community overview. I'll share my screen and we can walk through that. Let me know if you're able to see my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So Bhakti community, it intends to inspire hope, heart, and happiness for all the newcomers to our community. Bhakti community is dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, who gave us the precious and treasure of Krishna consciousness that we are now able to share with others. So why Bhakti community? Vast economic, technological, social, and environmental challenges have transformed our lives, both positively and negatively. The world's population is growing sicker, lonelier, and older, impacting people's happiness and well-being. People around the world are proactively turning to wellness modalities as an alternative to these challenges. Health systems are failing to keep up with the economic burden rising. It's not surprising that consumers, employers, and even governments are turning to wellness approaches to complement and address these issues. The environmental crisis is also a health crisis. The air we breathe, how we buy and sell foods, how we travel, everything has an impact on the environment and in turn, our well-being. Demographics, value system, and lifestyles are changing towards wellness. People's consumption patterns are fundamentally changing, and they all are open to newer lifestyle so that they can stay happy and healthy. So what is wellness? Wellness is the active pursuit of activities, choices, and lifestyle that lead to holistic health. Wellness is not a static state that you are well or happy. It's on a daily basis, you're actively making conscious choice so that your lifestyle improves and you become happy. Wellness is multidimensional. It includes physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, social, and environmental facets. Wellness economy is growing at 7% per annum. Currently, it's valued at more than $4.5 trillion. Close to $1 trillion of that belongs to body fitness, and more than $50 billion of that belongs to corporate wellness fitness. People are using wisdom and entertainment, which is wisdomtainment, to share ancient practices as well as knowledge to help people attain wellness. We have our own wisdom of sages from Bhakti Center, New York, who have inspired more than 1,000 members on a daily basis. They read Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is transforming their lives on a daily basis, weekly basis. They're getting letters, emails, the people are coming on their calls and sharing how it is transforming their life and how thankful and grateful they are for what they are doing. They're also getting $30,000 per annum as donation as part of this program that they have. Mind Valley is another pioneer in this field where they share wellness content, how to live a balanced life. And they are impacting more than 300,000 people's life globally on a daily basis. They are generating close to $30 million per annum for this activity. Our own Ghanshyam Priya Prabhu, he has transformed the wisdom industry by sharing it in an entertaining and simplified way. And he's touching lives of more than 10,000 people on a daily and weekly basis. The sort of simplified help that he's providing, people are sincerely thankful to him, sincerely thanking them by sharing their realization, reflections, that how there are people who were very stressed, distressed in their life, and now they are completely out of it, and they are expressing sincere gratitude to him for the way that he is helping them. For this endeavor, of course, he is also generating close to $5 million per annum for this endeavor. Tony Robbins is another pioneer in this area who also helps with various wellness and self-help coaching practices. So what is Bhakti community? We'll take a short video of that, and I'll go through that in detail. I just realized I did not share the sound, so I'll just stop sharing and reshare so that the sound is also available. Let me know if you can hear the sound.
Earlier we were able to hear.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Can you hear me?
So Bhakti community is a culmination of decades of research and development in wellness, lifestyle management, and digital transformation practices. In 2017, we started the work on ISKCON Family Transformation Program. And in 2019, February, we launched the ISKCON Family application along with Fan the Spark. We started working on ISKCON Sankirtan app in 2019, June. And in 2020, we launched the Bhakti community program. So there are various audiences or personas Bhakti community targets, and it helps them gradually, systematically make progress in this path. The first one is spiritually inclined. So those people who are open for spiritual conceptions, but not necessarily open for God concept. Religiously inclined, who are open for God consciousness. Women, teens, as well as more. For each of them, we would start distributing wellness or lifestyle management content through various digital properties, through all the talk shows, through our Sankirtan programs, as well as other extended programs like Bhakti, stand for Bhakti Yoga, or even the corporate outreach we have. And for those audiences who wants to now go deeper into Bhakti, we would then offer them a subscribed program where they can understand the various Bhakti scriptures. They can follow the sadhana practices. We'll also be launching sadhana app to assist them. And as they make progress, they would be wanting opportunities for service, because that's the only way you can be happy. So we'll engage them in various services, and also offer instructor-led courses like Discover Yourself or Bhakti Shastri, etc. Those who are interested. And hopefully, through all these steps and processes, they are progressing and could one day eventually become a Bhakti yogi. This will also help them so that as they progress, they feel comfortable with the various practices and knowledge that we have. And when they visit our temples, etc., it doesn't look like foreign to them. They are already well versed after going through these processes. So what all things that Bhakti community offer for newcomers when they join? Bhakti community, we already have Beginning Bhakti, which is now available on Bhakti community. It is a 4-part series introducing what is illusion, what are the paths out of illusion, and then how they can make choices so that they can reach divinity at the end of illusion. So these courses already available on Bhakti community. We also have Journey of Self-Discovery available now on Bhakti community, which is a 6-part series introducing Happiness on Sale, the God Mystery, Who is Me, Religion on Trial, Is World an Unfair Place, and various applications of these practices on daily life. In addition, we also have the program Bhakti On, which is a wisdom program exploring various Bhakti scriptures. Currently, Bhagavad Gita, From Confusion to Clarity, is underway. Let's take a short sneak peek at the program itself. Bhakti On is a program dedicated to exploring timeless texts of Bhakti Yoga for people who want wisdom in their everyday life.
Welcome to everybody who's joined us here for Bhakti On. We're really excited to launch this program today and to keep it going, bringing these sound waves from the spiritual world into your home, into your ears, into your car, wherever you may be, because this is life. Bhagavad Gita is well known all over the world, and there have been at least 500 translations and in English, and there are others around the world, many different languages. People are interested in Bhagavad Gita. It's kind of a hidden jewel in the Mahabharata, which Srila Vyasadeva wrote to give people a story that would attract their minds, but then within the story there would be something that would be so profound that just by hearing it would lift them up and give them hope in life and guidance. I'm going just a couple verses to the end of the Bhagavad Gita to tell you what Krishna says is the benefit of reading this book. He says, in 1870, and I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence. And one who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwell. So there are ample benedictions that come just from listening to Bhagavad Gita. And there's a principle in hearing in spiritual realms, and especially hearing from Shastra, the scriptures, that you don't just hear them once, but you hear them again and again and again. And unlike regular scriptures or like regular books, they don't become tiresome or hackneyed, but it gets sweeter as you grind it, just like sandalwood pulp. Just like nowadays we have GPS. And let's just say, I had this experience. I had a one-day excursion to fly to Arizona to, of all things, meet a prisoner who was very interested in Krishna consciousness. This was quite an excursion because I was like special ops. I had to be dropped in, and I had to fly in, get a rent-a-car, drive across the desert to find the place. It was a prison in the middle of the desert, and then get in there. I had obviously an appointment, but halfway through the desert, and I had to make it on time, the GPS didn't seem to be responding. And I felt completely lost. I called my wife at home and said, mission not accomplished, and I don't know where I am. And so there's a way that Krishna is always with us. He's in our hearts, and we can't hear him clearly in our hearts because there's so many other frequencies jamming the channels. And therefore, he comes to us also as the Bhagavad Gita to give us instruction. So the story turned out okay, because actually I kept driving because I had nothing else, had nowhere else to go. It was a straight road through the desert. And finally I saw something that looked like it was probably a prison. And I was able to find my way in, and I went and met the prisoner and so forth. But the fact is that it's actually a scary experience to not have guidance. And throughout our lives, the ways in which we try to find our way forward in our lives are very scary. So for guidance in our life, if we hear directly from Krishna, as he says in the Bhagavad Gita, then we'll feel uplifted. The fear will diminish.
So Bhakti On is a program which is well received by the participants, and there are a lot of good discussion also which happens. Next is we also have Wisdom Course Introduction to Mantra Meditation. It's a 3-part series which introduces what mantra meditation is and how to apply in daily life. We also have Spiritual Fitness Program, which is broadcasted on a weekly basis. We have Sadhana On, another program which is now available, where the various practices of bhakti and how it can be applied in daily life is discussed. We have the sadhana tracker, which people can use to track their progress in various sadhana activities. We are excited that beginning next month, we'll be launching mantra music by our own Madhuripura Prabhu. He has kindly agreed to use the power of music and how that helps people in chanting and progressing through mantra. So we are pretty excited about this upcoming program. We will also be launching Better Together. So each of the community members, they have their own goals, their own challenges. They are inspired in different ways. So through this program, they'll be able to share in a safe environment what their goals are, challenges are, reflect upon it, and then collectively as a community, we can then make progress. We will be launching Conscious Cooking program hopefully soon. That's another program which quite a few people are asking. Also, Spiritual Fitness course will be coming soon, which would cover the body, mind, and spirit aspect and how they all can be improved upon by the practitioners. In addition to various, we are constantly thinking of various other programs as well. We would be also launching spiritual fitness community program targeted more for Western audiences. So as you can see in Bhakti community, there are various programs available. So how to get this treasure trove, how the newcomers as well as our existing community members, how can they get the benefit of this, all the treasure that we have? Well, for individuals, they can go to bhakticommunity.com and they can sign up for membership. The recommended donation amount for membership is $20 per month, but we realize not everyone can maybe start with that. So yeah, they can donate as low as $1 and then begin to join and participate. And once they sign up, they would go to the Bhakti Community Facebook group and request to joining. This is where all the content is available, and this is where all the live programs are hosted as well, which you can participate. And in June, we'll be also adding PayPal integration. Right now, it's Stripe is you use your credit card to make donations, but in June you can also use PayPal account if you have one. So this way, people can register. For all the individuals can register. If for other communities who want to bring Bhakti community to a local group near them, it's also possible through a Bhakti community partner program, which will allow these programs to be extended to their respective local communities. So Bhakti community partner program provides various benefits for participating partners, including access to the powerful and easy to use partner portal tools to manage their local community. The partner portal gives them access to managing the people profile, the various information about the people that they have, managing groups, managing custom processes, so they can define maybe a 4 or 6-step process as an example to gradually bring a person over into the community. They can send mass emails to all the community members. They can also create custom reports. In addition, they also get subscription to free Juice Suite for business accounts. Of course, we all have free Juice Suite accounts, so we can use Google Docs and Google Sheet, etc. But that has limited storage. With G Suite for Business, they get unlimited storage, which is very handy to store videos, etc. They also get access to Google Classroom, which the partners can use to conduct their local community classes online. They can also order Bhakti community cards, visiting cards, which can be added or sent along with the books when they distribute, either physically or even electronically. Very soon, in a couple of months, we'll be also piloting Sankirtan app, which the community can use to report their Sankirtan activities. And once it's reported, all the contacts are automatically synced up in this portal so that they can use it for follow-ups. Even Sadhana app would also be added right after, very soon after that. So they can also, the local partners can also conduct their own Better Together program so that they can help their local community to keep progressing in that path. And we'll also have a Bhakti community leaders meetup where all the partners and leaders can come together, share how they are making progress, what challenges they are facing, and what help do they need. So collectively, we can help our communities grow. So next, I will give a quick demo of the Bhakti Community Partner Portal itself, that how it helps partners come on board. So this is Bhakti Community website, where if you go www.bhakticommunity.com, this is where you land, where you can see the brief introduction about Bhakti Community, the video that we just saw, the various benefits that you get if you join. And you can also sign up for monthly subscription. There is a 1-month free trial, so you can try it out and continue the subscription if you want to. And you can choose various donation amount that you feel like to join the community to donate. You can also order books from this website. Access to various Bhakti videos directly from website is available. And this is where the partners can come in and log in. So they can send email to bhakticommunity.com to sign up, and they can use login here. Once they click on login, they'll be taken to the Bhakti Community Partner Portal, which provides warm welcome, and various G Suite Productive Suite is available for them to review. This is where all the various apps, the Sankirtan app, which is going to come up soon, Sadhana app, is available for them to view, like Sankirtana, which is currently in development. So I can briefly show the app. So this is where the dashboard is available. So as people start reporting books, they can come and see how how they're progressing with respect to their goals, the top 10 temples globally, where they are with respect to their progress towards their goal, they can see. And there are various other options to enter book distribution, recording books, various people, maintenance, etc. So this currently is under development and would be available soon. So I'll quickly now take through the various other features we have. So Sadhana app, as I mentioned, will be launched soon. Shared workspace is a way for the respective partners to use Google's shared drive to share resources and content with your community. And community classes uses Google Classes, where they can conduct various online classes. So for example, if they have Bhakti Shastri class or Bhakti Vriksha class going on, they can create the classes for it, add their respective members. It could be a paid class or a free class. Once those registrations complete, they can add the members, share any resources, documents, videos that you may have. You can also get access to free Google Meet, which you can meet together to conduct classes as well. So you don't need to pay for Zoom, as an example. So these are some of the benefits of the shared classes. Also, they get access to admin area. This is where they manage their people. So all the people they can manage who are part of their community. They can manage different groups if they have, and they can generate reports. So in people itself, like they can go to the people view and see all the contacts that they currently have. They can see what books they have purchased, as an example. They can also see what who was contacted by, so you know whom to reach out to if there is any questions, how much money they donated, etc. So this information and any contact information you have, you can easily maintain that information using this people maintenance. Of course, entering one person's information at a time sometimes is pretty cumbersome. So there is also a way to easily import all the people through an CSV file. So you just create an Excel sheet or a CSV sheet. You can go to import option and bulk import all of them together so that you can keep maintain them. So if you click import, you can see that the default mapper would map all the columns that you have to respective fields which needs to be imported. You can have the email address of the person, of course, which books they purchased. You can keep track of it, and for the amount of donation they have done, you can recommend how many months free trial can be done. By default, everyone gets a month's trial, but for example, if somebody has purchased a Srimad Bhagavatam book, if you want to give them 3 months free trial just as a token of appreciation, we can recommend that please give this person 3 months free trial as when you're creating the contact. So when the actual visitor or the newcomer signs up, we'll look into this information, how much 3 months free trials you're giving, recommending to give, and accordingly they won't be charged for those many months. And once you've reviewed all the contact, all the information, you can click continue. And all those records, like there are 20 records here, but you can upload as many records as you want. They all will be automatically uploaded. So then you can go and see them, that all your newcomers that you just gave books to, you can come and see them, all of them here. You can see the information right here. And if you want to then, for example, if you have various groups, maybe you have one group for a particular city, another group for another city, like Bhakti Community Los Angeles is as a group. Once you have created those groups, you can contact the entire group in single click. So you can use group's contact button. And then from here, you can select a template that you want to email them, and then send out any information right from here to all of them in one shot. So this way you can contact them and send emails. They will also be part of a process flow once a partner signs up. So that is, if a newcomer signs up, you may want to, like say, week 1, send a welcome letter, welcoming them to the community. So letting them know all the resources available. So next week you can say how they can take advantage of the resources. Third week, you can offer some help. Fourth week, you can guide them to join an upcoming program. So this way you can conduct create a systematic process that you can guide a newcomer through various series of steps so that they are fully engaged and they get the help they need to make progress in the community. The partners would also have access to all the reports which are available right here. So like Bhakti community leads, you can review the information and these reports, you can export it via CSV or any format, download it and keep track. So this way, as you can see, it's pretty comprehensive and powerful partner portal that we have, but that the partners can take advantage of. So now I'll go back to the presentation. This was a quick demo of the partner portal and the benefit it offers to the partners who come on board. So how can the partners get this treasure trove? Well, it's very simple. Go to bhakticommunity.com and send an email to the email address given there to sign up. Once you sign up, the partners will be given partner portal credentials so that they can start managing their community through partner portal, as well as engage their community through Bhakti community and share various wisdom courses with them. They'll be also assigned a community coach so that we have help so that they are gradually making progress in this path. Any questions that they have, we are able to answer and guide them throughout. Also, this when the various communities members join this Bhakti community, whatever donation they give, of course, will be taken, will be first fulfilling all the cost because this digital infrastructure that all of them come together to maintain. Sorry?
Jai Prabhu, this is Radha Kripadas. Prabhu, which partner you're targeting here, right? You're talking about other temples or?
Yeah, I'll just go to that. That is next slide, Prabhu. You are way ahead of me, so just give one slide. So so partners, whatever donation which is received through the partners community, the local people, we know because they are maintaining their respective contacts. So first we'll be taking the cost, of course, we'll be taking the cost out, but whatever is the balance amount left will be shared with the respective local temples so that they can also use that in their local temple maintenance as an example, or even donate to Sankirtan, their own BBT contribution if they want to. So the respective local temples and partners can choose what they want to do with the money, which will come back to them. So we already have great news, as Radha Prabhu also already foretold which partner you're talking about. So their partners are signing up. We have ISKCON of Sydney, which is very keen to come on. I have a meeting later this weekend to talk to them. They are very keen. They have a 150 member congregation and they are very keen to bring them onto this platform. And they are pretty happy and excited that this entire platform is available, which they can use to conduct their online groups. We also have ISKCON of Baltimore, which are also very eager. They are pretty impressed as well. So both of them are ready to go, and within a week or so, you'll see both of them live on Bhakti community as well. So now, what is the request? Please join Bhakti community now because you have distributed books to the newcomers. They will come to know about Bhakti community and they'll be joining. And once they join Bhakti community, you want to be there to welcome them. You want to be there to warmly welcome them, greet them, show around, guide them various courses that we have or any questions that they have. Second, also help out the newcomers. Like once they come on Bhakti community, not everyone may be comfortable. So make them feel like it's a safe environment where they can ask the questions they have without any fear, and they can slowly become comfortable with this environment. Create an encouraging and enriching community. Like we all are here because somebody encouraged us. We all are here because somebody really guided us and took us here. So be that person for these newcomers that you are coming in contact with, that you are bringing them, that you are distributing books to, that when they come, you be the person, you be the champion, so that they feel comfortable and they then make progress, and in future they can bring other person also into this community. They have taken a big decision of buying Srila Prabhupada's book. Be the person who is there for them so that they can take the next level, so that they can read the books, encourage them, help them, guide them, answer the questions that they may have, so that they can read the books. They may have questions about sadhana. So if as a community, we have to help them to answer it and make sure that they progress. And also be in the community so that we all together learn and grow, like how we can serve the newcomers that come on Bhakti community. So please share your ideas that you may see that you have, or programs that we can bring in, or how we can extend this to more and more partners as well. So now how you can always, as I mentioned, go to bhakticommunity.com and register there. We also have several volunteer opportunities available. Obviously, it will take a village to serve the newcomers, that our own community newcomers which will come, or even the partner newcomers who are coming on the program. We would need a village to serve them. We need a community member service team who can make sure each of the newcomers into this platform, their needs are taken care. Partner service team, each partner who are coming board, they are at different levels in terms of their technical savviness as well as their the amount of content they have. So we will need them to bring them on board and on an ongoing basis coach and guide them how they can help their own community. So we need several people in partner services team as well as digital service opportunities also available to maintain website or partner portal maintenance, or creating and uploading contents, creating marketing flyers, and various other ongoing assistance. So if any of you are inspired to share Srila Prabhupada's books and practices to all the newcomers, to our community, to all the partner communities across the globe, please do reach out to hi@bhakticommunity.com, and we'll be more than happy and very glad, elated to have you also. So please accept my dandavats. If any offenses are committed, please forgive me. And if you have any questions or comments, please do share.
Oh, bravo!
Haribol!
Haribol! Haribol!
Haribol! Haribol!
Hare Krishna.
Sadhu! Hare Krishna!
Haribol.
Krishna!
Haribol! Haribol!
Jai.
Bravo! Any questions or reflections?
Yeah, if you have any questions about the program, how to register, how to guide newcomers, please bring it up. We'll be more than happy to answer anything that you may have.
To whom to contact for the 3 months free subscription for those who have taken Srimad Bhagavatam?
So if with your local respective temple Sankirtan leaders, so they will define the process for you. So basically, as and when we are distributing books, we'll be collecting all the contacts as well as recommending how many months of subscription to be given to them. So if you're associated with ISKCON Silicon Valley, of course, we will work with you on the calling party, or we'll have a separate section where we'll describe the process to you. But if it's a different temple program community, then we can work with the local community member leaders also to bring them on board as well.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I was wondering about the opportunity for explaining the books. You were mentioning something about possible questions the newcomers will have when they ask questions about sadhana, or when they ask questions about Prabhupada's books. How exactly will that work? Will they just contact us immediately, or will there be like a place where they put their questions and we go and we answer it?
Yes, that's a great point. Thanks for bringing that up, Prabhu. So as part of the community in Facebook, as an example, of course, questions will come up. We will also have Better Together program. So their questions will come up. We do plan to bring in an Ask Anything portal. So even their questions will come up. So there'll be questions coming from multiple folds. So just being there, as an example, being there, then you will see people are needing help and we can help them. So both informal guide help as well as formal also, both of them opportunities will be there.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, wonderful, very inspiring, great work. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. Prabhu, we have some of our classes like, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav going on at ISP itself. So, and I mentioned you had that section. So is it ready where we can have a trial run? Right, right now we are using Zoom or other things where we can actually start using it.
Yes, Prabhu. If I did share a couple of months ago also. Again, Zoom is a great platform to conduct online classes, but Google Meet is also available, which is free as part of this program. So yeah, you can create your classes there, and I can walk through whoever is required, how to set it up and bring your community on. Yes, it is ready, Prabhu.
Nice.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I think very nice project, Prabhuji. But I think this is so nice platform. What is your vision that how we can drive the adoption for it so that a lot of means we can get used fully?
Great question, Prabhu. So it starts with us. So this is the first, opportunity where we are showcasing what the features are, and I'm working closely with both Malini Mataji and SKP Prabhu to bring this up within our own Sankirtan, various activities we do, so that this can be integrated with that. So when we are giving books, we're not just giving books, but we are also giving them a lifestyle opportunity, that when you take this book, also take this lifestyle opportunity of continuing to engage with us, and so that you can make progress. So yes, so adoption is an ongoing process, and we on a daily, weekly basis, we'll be continuing to encourage others to join this.
I have a suggestion about that.
Please.
Well, just that you sign up. I mean, Jai Madhava Prabhu said it earlier, but I signed up for the program. And also, I was invited to help get it started by giving some classes. So right now, during the week, at what time do we do it on Monday?
Monday, 6:30 p.m.
Monday at 6:30 p.m. There's a half-hour class. That's a fast class, but it's been really nectarian. There's been devotees that join directly on the Zoom call and also on the Facebook at the same time, and there's this really nice interaction, very concentrated discussion of the Bhagavad Gita that we're going through. And then also on Thursday morning at 7 a.m., that's when the sadhana on happens. So the fact is, we're just starting, and actually at this point, we haven't minded at all that there's not, thousands of devotees coming on, because the recordings are also important for when new people come into the Bhakti community. They have a wealth of information that's already recorded. So we just moved ahead on that point. So my point is this. If you're using it yourself, you'll be able to recommend it to others. If it's just theoretical, you see all these things on the screen and you think that's nice, then you don't have an idea of what effect it's having on you to be there in that discussion group, and therefore you won't be able to recommend it to others. If you join it and you get that feeling like that was a really important program I just attended because we discussed the principles in Bhagavad Gita, then when you're talking to somebody and introducing them to a book, to Krishna consciousness, and they have any inclination whatsoever, and you bring it up, you say, well, why don't you join us? It's when the times are, because you're doing it yourself and you're also there. And I would say that's one of the most important steps of adopting this, is just go ahead and try it and do it yourself and see what it's like, and then you'll be able to bring other people in too. That's very practical.
Thanks, yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Is it okay if I share something, Prabhu?
Please.
So I recommended this to one of the person who took Srimad Bhagavatam. He's a Western, and the first question he asked me, like, "Oh, are you also actively part of that community?" That's the first question he asked, and then I thought, "Oh, I'm going to join," and then I joined. I just joined the Bhakti community, but the first step is actually for us to join, and then we can promote it with more confidence. And if they ask any questions, then we'll be able to answer it more confidently. So I also encourage everybody to join, and all the Sankirtan devotees actually, if it's possible, everybody should be on that. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you mentioned sending e-cards or personal physical cards. So if it is correct, I would like to volunteer for making the cards, Prabhu.
Oh, thank you, Mataji. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Kard, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that will be great actually. Expressing a token of appreciation that they've purchased the
Exactly.
book
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're so grateful. And then if they join the community, then again we are grateful. So each of the steps, if we can encourage them, because we are here because somebody encouraged us, we wouldn't have been here. So similarly, if we are able to do for them, then they'll feel encouraged, and in future they'll also encourage others. So thank you for doing that, Mataji.
You know, Amalini, the way that we look at goals, and we say we'd like to have by the end of the to offer to Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Prabhupada on Srila Bhaktivinoda's disappearance day, we're going to distribute, how many of it is this time? What is it? 5,000 sets or something like that. We could also include how many people did we enroll in the Bhakti community, and when it becomes part of our value system. And now is a really good time when everybody's still locked down to have that. And if that becomes a part of our goal set, then I think that it'll integrate into the whole community that this is a priority, a very important thing to do.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. We can include this in the goals.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thank you.
Prabhuji, I know we have to charge to get some of the cost, because maintaining portal is a big deal. But especially for newcomers, sometimes can we do something like? I know you mentioned about 3 months. I saw that presentation, but if I share it on Facebook, or I'm even thinking of reaching out to hotel owners and wherever we have distributed. Just as an initial period, is there a way where we can have mass inputs by waiving some fees or something, and then they can decide if it's worth for them?
So
you don't have to answer it right now, but maybe you can take it offline. I understand cost is a big deal, but my point was, can we waive the fee for a longer duration, not just 1 or 3 months? Let's say less.
I'd like to just say something in response to that, and that it's actually gives people more impetus to go into the community when there's. I mean, after all, it's only $1. I mean, that's the minimum thing. $1 doesn't mean any. It actually means a lot, because you're volunteering something, but monetarily it's insignificant. And we're finding with a lot of different programs that if it's free entry, it's easy come, easy go. And it doesn't really mean anything. But that one point where they, click the box and say, I'll give $1 a month. I mean, that's the minimum. It lifts them to a new level of commitment. And it sort of filters out people who aren't really interested that much. And then, anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead, JM, and say whatever you want.
No, you said the right thing. And as you mentioned, the idea is to make sure they are giving some sukriti so that they truly value the benefit they are taking. So seriously, right? Like that's the key idea. And that's why the bar is just give $1. So, and that is relatively very insignificant for most of them. Anyways. So, and in addition to that, we are also giving them a trial period so they can try it out. So nothing gets charged during the trial period. And if they like it, they continue. If they don't, they just cancel out. So there are various ways to make sure they feel that they're getting the value for anything that they are contributing. But contribution very necessary so that they actually get the benefit. If they don't contribute, they won't value. And as Maharaj said, if you don't value, then they will not get benefit of it. We want them to truly get benefit out of it.
Okay. Okay, bro. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Not question, Prabhu, but I had one small suggestion.
Please.
So I joined after paying, but I'm not yet motivated to go through the units. And once one person will find a value in the community when they go through the units as well, because that's the basic blocks on which we are building upon. So can we have something like this? One month free, and then after that, maybe if you complete all the units in 1 month or 2 months, then give a guy another 2 months free. By that time, they have done a basic work, and Maharaj's lecture that will really make them more ripened for a paid subscriber who can reap out more benefit from the community.
Thank you for joining the community program. This great idea. Definitely let's discuss it and see how this is very practical. If we can encourage, it always has to be tied. If somehow we can tie them to so that they can actually read and make progress, that will be great. So definitely let's discuss and see how this can be implemented.
Yeah, and nice that you noted that he joined the community.
Yes, yes.
So he has some insight and also some potency when speaking about it, because he's actually a member and he actually comes to the classes, so it's a big deal.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
I also joined, but I don't follow Facebook that much. So I mean, I knew only that there are some classes. So is there any other way that we get to know?
Sure, Prabhu. Whenever there are classes announced, Facebook sends a communication. We'll also supplement it through email also, so that you can get that. So we'll make that arrangement, Prabhu. In addition to Facebook notification, we'll also add email notification.
Prabhu,
there is also opportunity to do SMS notification too. There is some cost involved, but we'll see how that can be arranged. If community wants, we can add it as well.
My email is fine, Prabhu. Everybody checks email, I think.
Sure.
Prabhu, I wanted to say, I don't know, it's me, but I've seen the emails come after the classes sometimes. I don't know why. So earlier I was forgetting, but now I have it in my calendar. Okay, these are the times. So I'm making it a point to join by time. So
sure.
I don't know why they come just after the class to me.
Yeah, so they go right out on Facebook app, but the Facebook email takes some time.
Probably, yeah.
But we can have our own email sent out as well. And again, if more people join the digital team, then we'll be able to do all this arrangement as well.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Krishna.
Through BBT Academic, we are selling the paper books. Can we also think about selling e-books and audio books through that portal?
So Malini Mataj, do you want to comment on that? So you're talking about BBT Academic portal or Bhakti Community portal?
So I think Prabhu was asking about Bhakti Community. Prabhu, we haven't decided exactly if we want to take them to BBT Academic to buy the books. We are still discussing what's the best way, but we can also make an arrangement for them to get the ebooks as well. We can discuss a little bit about it, Prabhu.
Sure.
Those are great questions. Thanks.
Hare Krishna, Jai Mother Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhu, thank you for the session. It was really nice. Prabhu, if a person is not using Facebook, how can he get on board?
That's a great question. Any idea how many of them would be like that, Prabhu? Is it like?
No idea as such, but yeah, I know just one person who doesn't use Facebook.
Facebook provides a very cost-effective platform for us because we are starting and there is a significant cost involved. So we're trying to keep it at bare minimum so that we can grow. Maybe once we reach a level, we can then start offering through YouTube or other platforms too. But at this point, yes, Facebook is the only option. But once we grow, I'm sure we can find other avenues of sharing as well, Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhu, I have one suggestion, Katukarana Prabhu. I mean, typically everybody, like there are many people who just hate Facebook just because it consumes a lot of time. But, if you're in friend with them, if you tell them, you just log in for that purpose itself, and then you just use it for your benefit. This is just like any another app. Don't open it, other than if you don't need it for this purpose. I think we need to educate. Probably that will help. Otherwise, I still find there may be 2% or 3% people who just are reluctant, or maybe they were burnt out in their dealing with Facebook before. So if we could communicate in that fashion, hopefully they will be back because there's more motivation, because this platform is useful and they will find it helpful. So.
Thank you, Prabhu. That's a great point actually, because they all have moved away because it's all Maya. But if Krishna starts coming in Facebook, I'm sure they'll come back to Facebook also. And also, Prabhu, they can join the Zoom call as well. So they can, at least the live programs, they can always join through Zoom. They don't need to be on Facebook for that.
Got it.
Yeah, Prabhu, also Shraddha Mataji asked me to join Facebook. I never had that account. So you can imagine I was one of them. So.
Yeah, if Shraddha Prabhu can come, then for sure others will also be join.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other questions?
If they have more questions later, can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, please, yeah, you can drop me an email or at hi@bhakticommunity.com, either of them, and I'll be more than happy to jump on a call and answer the question you have.
Thank you for this groundbreaking presentation. We ask everybody to please go and join and get on there, because right now during the shifting times, this is an opportunity we've been waiting for a long time. The faster we get on it, the more we will be able to experiment with it and then export it to the greater world of ISKCON. It's already taking root in other communities. Those who have looked at it from Australia, from Baltimore, are going to take it, and it'll go all over the movement. And this is one of the ways in which we can expand the Krishna conscious movement in better and greater ways than we've ever done before, even during this pandemic. So please be early adopters. That's our mandate here at ISV, is to export technologies to others. And if we're using them ourselves and finding the gaps and really cooperating all together as one group here at ISV, then it'll happen very quickly, and we'll be able to make a contribution to the world. And that's what we're trying to do. So my humble request is, please join us on Bhakti Community. And if you can, start coming to some of the classes so you know what they're like, so that you'll be inspired to invite other people to come. And who knows, you might actually like it yourself and actually want to come. And it's not all me. I'm just asked to, help out. So if you get a little overload of VDA, like the COVID virus or something like that, and he's like, oh, it's just the same guy again. Don't worry, we're going to integrate some actually, advanced personalities in there as time goes on, and we'll be able to accommodate lots and lots of preachers from ISV and elsewhere to come in there and continue the program and expand it, okay? And thank you again. Let's give a real round of applause for the hard work of Jai Madhava Prabhu and his team. Hare Krishna. Hare
Krishna.
Sadhu sadhu. Hare Krishna.
Sadhu sadhu.
Now, Malini, tell us what we've won.
Prabhu, we have won another continental calling party today.
Yay!
It's from 2 to 4 p.m. I know devotees, they maybe have hesitated to join because we didn't put an end time. So now we have a time where we know it's 2 to 4 p.m. So please come on early, 2 p.m. and after your lunch prasad, and then start calling everybody. It's so much fun. Actually, last week, I've reached out to so many people whom I haven't talked to them for a while. One example is Jeanette from our Bhakti life. She took a Bhagavatam set, and
wow.
Yeah, and she asked you to say that she offered her respects to you and Nirakula Mataji as well. And she remembered all the devotees of ISV as well. So there are so many devotees and people like that whom we may have met some few years ago, not in touch, but yeah, so it's a very nice
I went on and did calling and everything like that, and it was really touching because I talked to some people and they said, yes, I'll donate. And one of them I talked to, and you hang up and you're not sure if you're going to actually do it because, you have no control over it, or at least I didn't. And then afterwards, he came in through the PayPal, donated, and wrote me back. And I feel this really tight relationship with him now, this person, because, he did that, and now we have this conversation going on. And so this is a really powerful thing. And if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yes, yes. And we have seen that a lot of kids are also doing it. And so we encourage all the kids, parents, everybody to come. And it's going to be fun. So please come join us. There's nothing to lose because all you have to do is a phone call. You don't even see the person's face. So there's nothing to lose. And just come and give it a try. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadna Krishna Prati Hoy Jaha Hoy Te Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chite Te Koriya Aikya Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Stotra Shri Srimad Bhagavatam Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Stotra Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnavinga ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Zagaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gokopina Shamakunda Radhakunda Giri Govardhan ki jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Shri Mayapur Navadipkam ki jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi ki jai. Jamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Sambheda Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to simple devotees. All glories to simple devotees. All glories to simple devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Avantika?
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Where are you? Let's see. Tell us what you observed when all the times you went into the kitchen at ISV to get the names of the cooks. And tell us what you observed about their mood in cooking. I mean, what was your feeling about that?
Whenever I entered the kitchen, like back when we went to the temple, all the was really concerned on how on the presentation of the bhoga for Krishna to make sure that he's getting like the best prasadam. And what I noticed several times is that they'd fill his plate to like the maximum point, so like everything would be given to him, and it was really sweet seeing their like devotional and service mood.
That's a really nice service that you have going back there and seeing all the cooks and then acknowledging them. Can you tell us your secret and how you would remember so many names? We've counted sometimes when you remembered up to almost like 20, 25 names in a row, just from the top of your head. So how did you do that?
So usually every week there's like a consistent, like 1 week is like Bhakti Prabhu, another week is like Sukakata Prabhu. So generally they have their own crew. And after doing it for quite some time, I've started to like remember like roughly who goes with what. And when I note them down on either paper or on my phone, I'll do it in alphabetical order. And then I'll remember how many people start with each initial, and then I'll be able to go through.
Wow. Thanks for revealing some of your secrets and how you do that. It's been amazing. Do you want to acknowledge some of the names of the cooks now?
Yeah, sure. Prashad was cooked by Ananda Vrindavan Mataji, Bhakti Prabhu, Harisingh Prabhu, Kameshwari Mataji, Manjulakanta Mataji, Malini Mataji, Nirkula Mataji, Hansapriya Mataji, Radhavala Prabhu. Yeah.
I see what you mean about the alphabetical. I never caught that before. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Sharirat Vijaja Jyotindriya Kaheka Jive Pele Vishaya Shakare Dharma Deji Boyati Loba Moisu Durmati Take Jeta Katita Shanshare Krishna Bodha Doyamo Kori Bale Jihaja Shah Prashad Annadi Lopa Shayanamrita Pao Radha Krishna Guna Gao Premedako Shri Chaitanya Nita Premedako Sri Chaitanya Nita Mahashade Govinde Nama Pamani Vaishnave Sapa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwaso Navijayat Prasade Sarva Dukhanam Hanirasyo Pujayate Prasanna Chetaso Yashu Buddhipaya Vatishtate Prayopapukta Shraganda Vasulankara Kartitaha Utishta Bojino Dasas Tavamayam Jayemahi Bhagavat Shri Mahaprasada Ki Gaur Premanande, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Tai Gaura Haribo, Tai Gaura Haribo, 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 Haribo. Please come take prashadam, Haribo. Can everyone please unmute and say Hare Krishna?
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Whoever signs up the
Hare
most people for
Krishna.
Bhakti Community today wins a special prize to be announced. Hare Krishna.
Maharaja, asking your blessings for today's Sankirtan.
May the Sankirtan
So
party
all of
today.
us, all of us.
Yeah, may everyone do more books than they ever thought possible today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.